Hey Psych2Goers, when you hear the terms psychopath and sociopath, what comes to mind? Some people might think of people who commit violent acts with no remorse. While this can be true in some cases, this does not reflect everyone with the conditions. So with that said, here are 5 ways to tell sociopaths and psychopaths apart and how they're diagnosed. Let's start with how a psychopath or sociopath is diagnosed. While psychologists agree that sociopaths and psychopaths are different from one another, they are actually given the same diagnosis as both exist under the term antisocial personality disorder. ASPD is a condition characterized as a lack of empathy and disregard towards laws and rules. It's also important to know that antisocial refers to harmful behaviors towards other people. It's not the same as asocial, which is classified by introversion. Generally, people with ASPD will exhibit disregard for the feelings of others, disregard to the laws and rules, no remorse after hurting others, aggression, and dangerous behaviors. The difference lies in how these symptoms are portrayed. Some psychologists argue that psychopathy is a more severe form of ASPD, while others think that it is something completely different. Sociopaths don't care about others, while psychopaths pretend to. Sociopaths tend to make it clear that they don't care about the needs of others. Because of this, they may have extremely unstable and abusive relationships. Psychopaths, on the other hand, can be much more difficult to spot. They tend to blend in well with the people around them and can fake their emotions to avoid drawing attention. Because of this, psychopaths may appear completely normal, sometimes so much so that they have long-lasting relationships and families unaware of their condition. Sociopaths are impulsive, while psychopaths tend to be methodical. Generally, sociopaths may have a difficult time controlling their emotions and lash out in explosive outbursts in a short period of time. They may carry out violent acts and crimes quickly and in the heat of the moment. Psychopaths, on the other hand, tend to be much more calculated and thoughtful in their approach. They may come up with elaborate plans to commit horrible acts and do so without drawing too much attention. Sociopaths are generally a product of their environment, while psychopaths are born that way. Nature versus nurture is used to describe whether a person's behavior is a product of genetics or how they were raised. Typically, it is believed that sociopaths develop as a result of trauma and neglect throughout childhood. Psychopaths, on the other hand, are believed to develop as a result of genetics and less so from how they grow up. Simply put, sociopathy is believed to be learned and psychopathy is inherited. Sociopaths can feel empathy in certain situations, while psychopaths cannot. Some psychologists believe that sociopaths can feel empathy towards others in certain situations due to the learned nature of their condition. However, this can be inconsistent and may only be present in specific, isolated instances. Some would argue that sociopaths have a sense of right and wrong, just a weak one. Psychopaths, on the other hand, may not be able to feel empathy in any context and usually have no concept of right and wrong. Sociopaths tend to be unstable, while psychopaths are stable. It can be easier to spot someone who is a sociopath due to the impulsive and aggressive nature that they tend to display. Their behavior may be bold and show itself in their chaotic relationships. As psychopaths are more methodical and calculated, they show fewer signs of abnormality. They can also be extremely manipulative and charming, which fools people into thinking that everything is ordinary. While sociopaths tend to live on the fringe and avoid education, psychopaths may become highly successful in their fields. While psychopaths can develop mood disorders like depression, they tend to have a high level of control over their emotions. So, did this video shed some light on the differences between sociopaths and psychopaths? Psychopaths and sociopaths are similar, but are not the same, with many contrasting personality traits. It is important to know that anyone with any kind of ASPD is capable of receiving treatment, and receiving the proper help can make a difference. Let us know what you thought on